What's up, everybody? Just tweeting out the link real quick. Get some people up in here. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you could help me out and tweet it out as well, that'd be dope. But yeah, we about to get started in a couple of seconds, so chill out. Yo. What it do? Entertainment purposes. Hey, what's up, cyberspace? What's up, YouTube? What's up, internet land? This your boy, Crypto Bruh, coming back again with a daily update. Today is Monday, April 24th, 2023. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna start talking about Zen and hope you had a marvelous weekend, whatever you did out there. Hope you had a good time, enjoy yourself. I had the pleasure of going out this weekend and actually turning up with some Zenians, which was pretty cool. So yeah, we had a little meetup out here. It's only like seven of us, but it's always good feeling to get to see real people that all are all like just like the white paper says, we all have like-minded uh, interests, and that's why Zen exists, to bring together those like-minded interests. So actually here I'm gonna kick it off like this and then give a shout out to these gentlemen because there weren't any chicks there, but it's all good. Um, we are doing what we're doing here. But yeah, man, we got Jacob in the back, Glenn, my guy JL, Benito, and then Caleb all showed up to just support the movement. And like I said, dude, it's really cool when you meet real people in real time that are all into the same thing, right? So we were just dissecting everything's in eco in the real time, and it was a fun chat and all that good jazz. So big ups to these gentlemen for showing up. Also, shout outs Kindness. Yo, Crypto Kindness hooked me up with one of these, the Mint Your Future Zen mugs, which is pretty sick. You know what I'm saying? I got a hojicha latte, not hojicha latte, but I got hojicha tea in this up in here. Keeping it mellow today. No coffee. But yeah, man, how y'all doing today? What's up, chat, man? What y'all, how y'all living, yo? How y'all living? What's up? Hey, the bozos on top. Real quick, always gotta drop that gem one time. What up, Zebo? What up, Crypto Neek? What up, Hexagon? What up, Shizzy DeFi? The Zen merch store is in the chat, actually. Again, Zen merch. Thanks for the mug. Really appreciate it. We got Frosty Dog. What up, dude? Zenfluencer. What it do? Media player. AK. You feel me? So shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're feeling this vibe, make sure you share it with your friends and whatnot if there's some good information. But let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to talk about FENIX. I'm going to break down this cool little flow chart that we got from Mr. Joe Blau. But first things first, man. I know we're all wondering about it. What's going on? What's going on? We got DXN having a gnarly pullback. But if you follow me on Twitter, and this is why it's good to follow your boy, yes, I will post photos if I go to a meetup. But also, I post alpha from time to time. So I said this morning, yo, I hope we get a pull back to $40 DXN, because what I was noticing was that people started to take profit, which is okay, right? That's the beauty of cryptocurrency. If you can't take profit, does the vehicle really work? So Joseph, or Yosef, excuse me, I always want to say Joseph, but Yosef actually has a great breakdown here. Let me go ahead and zoom into this. So, um, I noticed this too. Somebody had sold a position of 2.2 thousand DXN earlier this morning, which kind of started the tumble effect. So when the chart started to roll over, this morning, right in this range. This was, started, right? Somebody kicked it off, and now the FOMO has arisen, and more people that aren't going long on DXN, or maybe they don't know how DXN works. They're kind of, capitulating and, trying to make sure they don't lose out, which is totally fine. That's why there's a liquidity pool and there's the availability for you to exit if you like. Me, I'm speaking from a different side of things. It's your boy Crypto Bruh, not a financial advisor, just a music inspired crypto enthusiast that kind of just gives you daily insight on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching this closely because I'm buying. I'm sold on the DXN narrative. This is my little uh, my sheet, I guess you can say, of keeping up with the genesis of DXN, as well as how much Zen I've burned. So I'm currently almost at a billion Zen burned, towards XN and just towards my, my pitch to the ecosystem. One of the reasons why I'm really bullish on Zen in the coming years. But yeah, last week we did a great job. I actually didn't finalize this, but what I spent, and I guess my total profits. This is actually a little bit higher because I didn't add yesterday's profits to the mix, but it's all good. We're gonna kind of maybe retire this, and now we're gonna start moving into the DXN accumulation phase. So for me, this is just my strategy and how I'm doing it. I'm starting to go ahead and recycle my economical energy back into the ecosystem. I was burning last week, and I did two burns, and it was significantly high. As you can see from my journey here, the first week of DXN, I only spent point 0.8 or 0.18 ETH on my entry into the experience. But as gas has gone up these last 3 weeks, so has the entry level of DXN. So spending the same amount of Zen, I have been spending more in ETH. So spending the same amount of Zen, more in ETH, and then the same thing occurred last week. Spent the same amount in Zen, but significantly there was a more ETH I needed to do the same feeling. So even me as like a somebody who's trying to burn or like use the burn as like a mine, right? Because I'm mining XN at the same time I'm mining DXN, and that for me is what I want. So now I'm like moving over into the buy phase, right? I've burned almost a billion Zen, so I'm pretty happy with my burn position. But for now, I need to start allocating, in my opinion, my pool position so that I continue to get the divs. So now we're moving over to a spreadsheet. So this way I can keep track of where I'm at with it. And I just added 20 more DXN to my pool here. And we're going to keep growing this amount to stay even. So this way, like I'm saying, hopefully where I stay in my idea of recycling, the ETH that I get from the protocol share, I'll use to or ROI on the DXN that I'm purchasing. That's kind of like my strategy now, is as price goes down, take these rewards and just roll them back into DXN and not worry about the dump or anything because the mechanism is working. So all for it. Everyone who needs to take profit, maybe you got something going on. We are near the end of the month, so maybe some people need to rebalance their sheets. There's a lot of different stuff in a decentralized environment that can cause this type of capitulation. But it's super sharp. So I'm cool with it. Again, it takes more as as DXN is taken out of the staking pool, then everyone in the staking pool gets more DXN. So it's got so much yin and yang that I'm not even really stressed out right now. I'm actually happy. Like I said, I'm hoping we get those lower lows. And I got the 40 from looking at a certain range, which we'll do in a second. But we'll see yesterday. If you got into the DXN pool, you got a good amount of DXN. And look at this. Whoa, the pool kicked off pretty high today. I don't know if this is because a lot of transactions happened at the very end. Now I'm very curious. Let's go ahead and pull up this contract real quick. So I'm curious. Usually there's like 4 ETH in the pool, but right now, or my bad, I shouldn't say 4 ETH, but like usually there's not a lot of Zen that's been burned the next day. Oh, okay. This was yesterday's auction. Oh, okay. So yeah, anybody that got in yesterday's auction got a really good rate. But still, for my personal self, I didn't feel like the rate was well enough for me to risk my Zen. So this is the thing that's happening too. You're gonna have people who don't want to risk their Zen because we got Phoenix on the horizon. So there's no reason for me to keep up with DXN in the burn ratio because I'm gonna go burn crazy when Phoenix comes out. So oh damn. So for now, what I'm looking at is trying, like I said, trying to accumulate as much DXN token as I can. So when the burners oscillate back over to this particular protocol to burn for XN, I've already got a pool share and I don't have to participate as heavy as I did this past month. So I have participation all throughout the month. And this is what's crazy about DXN, in my opinion, is that there will always be participants. If there wasn't, then it would die already, right? Like it'd be dead. But we have too many. In my opinion, we just have too much data now to see where we are. And look at this, like this increase of claimed DXN, which again is great for stakers because that means the pool is smaller. So there are people who aren't going to be getting the divs because they're taking their DXN out, providing better ratio of divs for those that stay in. And I'm trying to, like I said, this is the part of the hourglass. Let's pull the hourglass out. So this is the part of the hourglass where you're going to try your best to stay in the middle and not end up at the bottom of it. I think of the people who are at the bottom of the hourglass, they're gonna sell their whole bag and pray that sell and pray that they can get a lower entry point. So we'll see how low it goes. But since that is the sentiment, right? That's the sentiment. Everyone is gonna sell and pray that we go lower. So I'm praying with y'all. I might even light a candle so that we can maybe this all speeds up. But again, this RSI on the hourly is beat up because there's no liquidity. So I can start talking about the goods again. We've got a good amount. 14K DXN is now entered the liquidity pool. So this is a good thing, man. We need more DXN available so that people can participate that don't have Zen to burn. Now, the lower the price goes, the better balance that picks up. And yeah, this is just, there's so many angles to this that I'm not, for me personally, I'm not even worried. Let's go ahead and open up the DBZen list. It's your boy Crypto, bro. I talk about DBZen a lot in the Zen ecosystem. I think a little bit more than everybody else, and it's just because it's my shit, bro. It's my shit, bro. Mm. Mint your future hero. I gotta hold it like this. Oh yeah, also the minters are popping on Zen. I haven't even talked about that yet because I know everyone's freaking out about this DXN price. So here to bring some comfort. But yeah, I don't know why I have so many DXN tokens up here. I need to take some of these down. Oh, this liquidity pool is poppy. Make popster. Let's get rid of that thing. All right. So yeah, I see that I need to maybe do my transactions because I haven't cleaned this up yet. I've been trying to figure out, and this is good. I think this is also a good learning moment for everyone in the community. This is how intense DBZN has become. There's tons of liquidity pools all over the place because everyone is everywhere. So, in my opinion, this is a really good um, feeling still. Like You or the old thing that people used to say in the DGen world was you want to get into a project before there's a white paper or before there's a telegram. So if you were to get the word on some like sick ass meme coin, and it had nothing, that might have been the idea to jump, to be like, all right, let me ape into this shit. So the fact that DB's in is just all over the place makes me feel really good because that means that people cannot identify where they need to start. And as someone like me who really wants to have the best position possible in the next coming years, all of this confusion allows me to kind of weave through and play, or yeah, like cherry pick off the people who don't understand what's going on. And that's just crypto. There's going to be people that get it and then people who really do not get it. And they're just in the mix of things. So I'm looking at all of these pools here. Really, really, really excited for DXN on Matic. Matic as a whole has just been having an amazing, amazing week. It's insane. This actually ripped because people just don't get it. Like, don't buy this, man. There's no liquidity. If you're gonna buy it, you need to be buying it in hundreds of dollars. Like, if you're if you're gonna go and try to drop $1,000 on this low liquidity token, like you're just asking to get wrecked. So looking at Matic is starting to also be accumulated to a point where maybe some people want to take profits if they like. We'll see if that's the case here. But yeah, Matic on DBZN is also had a great burn yesterday. I went ahead and took advantage of some burning in some of the sub chains because of the I think mental FUD, right? When you become a Zenian and you fully immerse yourself in this ecosystem, all of the FUD, it actually turns into news. It's like, oh shit, people are FUDing, people don't get it. Where that at? I'm trying to get in there. So I was looking at MZN because the price of MZN is pumping, but I noticed that nobody is burning for DXN. So there's this weird oscillation happening right now where people are so hyper focused on one specific project that they're not migrating their attention or they're not diversifying their attention. So I get it. You're in crypto. They say diversify your portfolio. Well, bruh, just like how you have a diverse playlist of music, you might want to have a diverse playlist of the Zen ecosystem. This is really diversifying where you are. It being in all chains, yeah, there's no liquidity yet for some of these chains. And when I say liquidity, I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like we do need to get to the point where there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on every single chain. And this is totally feasible. I'm not talking straight hopium. I'm just talking normal crypto. All right, the overall total value lock in crypto when it comes to all these chains in general is around 48 billion dollars. So what is stopping some of this ecosystem equity from coming into the Zen equity ecosystem? And that's why I'm pretty bullish on Zen in the long run. Knowing that there's so much opportunity that I don't really need to worry. I can kind of just plan out my participation for the next 2 years, and that's really where I'm looking at the side chains. Like everything that is not Ethereum might be one of the mega plays in the future. And the thing you just have to get past is like, what do these chains even bring to crypto? Again, you're talking to your boy Crypto Bro, man. I'm passionate about everything. Okay, yes, Zen just happens to be the ultimate blockchain token that we've been looking for, but there are other opportunities out there. So looking at Polygon, since they do have a tab here, Polygon has a total value lock of $1.4 billion. All right, so we haven't even scratched the surface of Polygon to really tap in to what their ecosystem has. It's only been 7 months, so there's a lot of room to grow. Even looking at Binance Chain has 4.6 billion total value locked on the actual chain itself. So there's still so much room to grow for what is Zen token. And the same thing goes for Avalanche. So like everybody's into Avalanche now. And this is because, to be honest, like look at Avalanche's all-time high of TLV, over 12 billion locked up in December of 21. So as these tokens start to have their moments, remember Zen is just a crypto token in the whole EVM. So we get to, party with these blockchains as they turn up. Like as they have their moments, if you're minting on the subchain with them, your Zen is going to be better paired with the native, right? That's what we've been looking at when it comes to deck scanner. Where's my deck scanner? Oh, it's right here. So going back to like DXN, I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about DXN. It's doing its thing, oscillations, because it's oscillating with the Zen price. And that's what makes it super duper different than anything I've ever seen before. Ah, this is off just a little bit. I've noticed that. All right. So here we're gonna go ahead and zoom this in. Um, so yeah, like I said, DXN can be really too worried about it because it's gonna rely on Zen. So when we're looking at Zen as a whole, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then again, DXN pays native token. So I'm only paying attention to every single liquidity pool that is native for Zen. I don't look at the USDC side, all right? That's not the play in my opinion because maybe actually I might need to update this pool, but I think this is just the best pool for ETH POW. Let's see. That's VV. Oh, I put VV ETH. VV Zen. Let's see. Yeah, so right now VV Zen is still trying to pull itself up by the bootstraps. And maybe this is the opportunity for this community to try to oscillate the USD funds into the native, because I think like native is just the easiest way to do things. Zen is very cryptic, so more people have native coins than they do USDC. So the fees would just be even better without having to have the AMA bot like doing all of that stuff. So maybe we'll start seeing some of these people bleed over. But yeah, right now that's the only chain that I have on here that most of the volume is going to be in USD, and I think that's maybe also why it's down here at the very bottom, guys. So if you're out there and you're into Ethereum POW, that might be something the community really wants to look into is how do you get this, how do you get everyone to get over to the mainnet tokens so that you can ride the TLV wave, right? We want to ride that TLV wave. Um, actually, yeah, I don't know if Ethereum POW is here yet. Let's see. Oh, it is. Nice. Let's see what the TLV is looking like. So, yeah, yeah, man. I mean, Zen has the opportunity to bring that million here, in my opinion. Wow, they don't even have $1 million locked up over there. Yeah. And the thing about all these subchains, when you really think about it, is this is where you as like a DeFi researcher, you want to go out and you want to research everything about these protocols to see if there's even a reason, right? Like I went ham on Avalanche because I went out and I looked at Avalanche news. Like you could just go to Google, type in Avalanche, Ava, not Avarice, Avalanche. So you go to Avalanche. This is the news, and then or we'll do blockchain. So this is how you do do your own research, guys. Very simple stuff here. Very simple. And then you just go over here to tools, and we're just gonna do in the past week. So you could do things like this to try to give yourself a better understanding of what these blockchains have going on. So maybe you could even do like Ethereum POW. Ooh, this is just me showing how to do research. So maybe you could do Ethereum POW. So it looks like Blockworks has a news article on ETH POW as of 5 days ago, where I don't know. I'm not into ETH POW, but I guess it's just a surge. ETH POW's price, proof of work, soars, momentum surge, only to plummet down right after. Lols. Yeah, that's funny. But that's like, okay, so if that's the news, that's the news. But it's up to you, man. You got to figure out how deep you want to go. That's why I'm not really going crazy on ETH POW, but I'm just showing it some love right now because I know a lot of Zenians are over there and they're cooking it. But yeah, when you're cooking on these chains, that's one of the reasons why like I'm really focused on Avalanche, I'm focused on Polygon, I'm focused on Binance Chain, I'm focused on Ethereum, and then like my chain that my most attention is on because it's really a lonely play is Moonbeam. Where is it at? So looking at Moonbeam, if we switch to liquidity, Moonbeam is right above ETH so it's two from the bottom. And again, ETH PAL actually has more liquidity than Moonbeam, which is bananas. Over 3,000 more dollars. And again, I'm not worried. I'm waiting for all of these things to look like ETH, where the liquidity is like millions. Because again, Zen is here to be brought into existence for abundance and to bring first principles to everything that it interacts with. So if it does end up becoming that gas token on all these other chains, so be it. On Ethereum, it's a gas token and it's worth $2.4 million right now in liquidity. So I don't really know. You could do your own thing. But yeah, looking at Moonbeam, let's go ahead and just look at their TLV real quick, which would be go here. You just type in Polkadot and you want to get to the Polkadot chains because Moonbeam is a parachain to Polkadot. So looking at Moonbeam, Moonbeam has a total value lock of 4.1 million. Okay, so again, this is just another concept of total value lock that is data for you to solidify that this chain is not going to rug me, right? We got rugged by Doge chain because they just stopped working out of nowhere. So let's look at Doge chain, right? Let's see what Doge chain's TLV looks like. Probably, so they have 4.3 million in TLV, and they changed up on Zen. Will Doge Chain come back? Uh, we're still trying to figure out. I think Jack said that he had like a meeting with them to try to get things back in order. But yeah, we have a lot of moving pieces that still need to play out. That's haven't really given us the clearness of like what is going to happen with this chain. But again, that's why I'm into Moonbeam because Moonbeam still has more than Doge Chain. Way more. Way more. I don't have, and then like what's cool though too, number one provider of TLV on Moonbeam is their actual lending platform, which is called Moonwell. So they got a lot of cool shit going on Moonbeam, and looking at Moonbeam again on the scale of things here, Moonbeam does have a very low liquidity, and I'm starting to move a lot of my attention since everybody's popping off. Zen is breaking the internet. I'm gonna start, doing my strategy again, keep minting on all chains, but at the same time identifying where are the opportunities in the Zen ecosystem to continue my gains, right? I want to be everywhere. When all of these things were popping off, I had all the Zen, but I've burned most of it for different things, as well as I'm trying to get into this idea of doing liquidity providing, getting ready for this NFT liquidity um, uh, liquidity NFTs that are coming in the future. We haven't gotten too much detail on that, but more and more information to come for sure on how all that's rocking. And again, what the hell, Zen? You're supposed to be pulling back like crazy. Zen is not wanting to give us a pullback for some cheaper Zen, bouncing right off this fib that I drew. So where we at with it? We're right here at the 0.5 on the fib. Had a great recovery. Too much buy pressure, man, because there's not enough supply. So like typically in a coin when it's like this, I feel like we've always been like, oh, that shit's gonna dump. But then like in this scenario, since it's fairly launched, it's a little bit, it's a lot like it's harder. It's harder to dip. It's just gonna be harder to dip. It takes a lot of sell pressure to dip because there's just so much buy pressure from people preparing for what is next, right? We have FENIX up next, which is gonna just change everything, right? We've already been burning like crazy, and now we're gonna have FENIX come into the mix. And what FENIX did for me that has like me in a whole nother my whole thing is changing. Like they really did innovate the Zen staker, right? We have vanilla staking in Zen, and now we have FENIX staking in Zen, and they did innovate the idea of how do you make something so simple have a little bit more, for sure. Because staking is simple. Put the coins in, more coins pop out. But when you put the Phoenix on top of it, you have all this extra stuff that goes into just one specific stake. And then it gets pretty deep because again, it's one Phoenix is 1,000 Zen. So typically you could just go to Zen stake and you can stake up your Zen for an 18% APY for, let's say, 1,000 days. That's the maximum. It's 1,000 days. So for 1,000 days, you can stake this much Zen and you get this much Zen. But now when Phoenix comes out, you'll be able to burn 1,000 to 1 and get a more scarce token, get a token that only inflates from staking and from burning. So it's like the inflation pressure on Phoenix is a lot less than Zen. It's going to be the same thing as DVZen. There'll be oscillation moments where maybe Zen is going to take a dip because people are going to take profits, which is going to provide a better range of Zen for availability, which then oscillates just people taking profit on Phoenix token because they know that they can get Zen cheaper to burn later to get like to rebalance. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's gonna we call this a hyperstructure. It's been I kind of explained it, but here I guess I should go over it again for those in the back that just got to class. Let's go over it again. Let's go to the Phoenix website. Let's go to the Phoenix website. What's up, chat, man? We got like 71 people in here. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, hit the bell, follow me on Twitter if you're feeling lit. Um, Say hi to your mom or your dad out there if they're pulling up and they're around. What's up? Oh yeah, kindness. We're on for tomorrow, kindness. Always. But yeah, just pulling up to XN. What's up, chat? What you guys doing over here? How you living, Hexagon? Chaz, Summer Solstice, Billy Bob, Mr. GR86. What up, David? What up, Zenim? Don, the Crypto Elite. What's up, y'all? What up to my Zenians out there? But yeah, looking here at Phoenix. If you go to the Phoenix website, you can pull up the Phoenix light paper. Beauty. But yeah, I've had some stuff go down over here where I'm kind of like, damn, it really worked out that way, right? Um, so there is some alpha that I guess I can share with the team, which is this. Oopsies. So I went ahead. If you've been following the channel, let's go ahead and refresh this real fast so we can get it connected to X1. Connect to X1, please. Connect to X1, please. There we go. So if you've been following the channel, then you know I've been playing with the test net, trying to understand Phoenix. And something I discovered in Phoenix that is, it feels like it's pure alpha for anybody watching this and for anybody that's going to get into Phoenix, and why, again, it's changed my perception of how I've been thinking about Zen staking. So again, Zen staking, vanilla concept. Put the Zen in a contract, APY, prints extra coins. No penalties, X whenever you feel. So it's a very free range staking, but again, it's vanilla. It's a designed idea to teach people how to use cryptocurrency. It's not really the best staking model for the advantages of what you can do with mathematics, right? And that's why it's cool to teach people with vanilla staking. Some people take advantage of it. I've taken advantage of vanilla staking on the other chains. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I've been staking billions of Zen, trying to see what the average weekly mine or yield on the Zen is while we still have these high APYs. But that's just a game for now, right? Eventually, every 90 days, the APY drops 1%. So there is going to be less and less Zen created when staking. And again, why we are going to need innovation like a Phoenix to continue the staking model. Now, what's crazy about Phoenix is that I did this stake on April 16th, and then 7 days later, I ended this stake. And when I started this stake, my principal was 2.5 thousand Phoenix, but then my payout was actually 2.2 thousand Phoenix. Now, I went to the Telegram and I was like, "Yo, Joe, what the hell, bro? Like, I got robbed." But I didn't read the white paper correctly and I didn't actually apply the right theory. And this is why test nets are great because you can lose and be like, whatever, I'm glad I learned. So, unlike Hex, where you can stake and always get back your principal, um, here in Phoenix, because there is no, what I really think it is this is how you make it fair with no OA. So everyone needs to participate in order to protect the equity pool. So I was like, whoa, I lost some. Actually, I lost twice. Do I have the other one here? Where's the other one at? Oh, it's right here. So I ended up losing twice on this, where I did not get back as much as I put in. So actually, I lost more. Okay, wow, this is great to see live. So I had more shares on this stake, which ended a couple, like I ended it yesterday. And I got back less Phoenix because I got diluted so fast that I needed to stake longer. So I'm gonna get to it, but you need to stake longer so you don't get diluted. But you'll see here on this one that was 4 days. I actually lost a good amount of principal. So what we've learned in this scenario, right, of staking is that you do not want to stake short in Phoenix unless you have a lot of Phoenix. So longer pays better in Phoenix, and so does bigger pays better in Phoenix. But shorter fucking wrecks you. And I'm happy I figured this out because then it made me understand like, oh, Phoenix really is for long stakes. Because now what I can do on Phoenix is I can burn my Zen, right? Burn my Zen, and then when I want to like it's like I have Zen I was gonna already stake. All right. And then now it's like since I was gonna already stake it, why don't I just burn it for Phoenix? I get the X1 and then I get the Phoenix, which is gonna be a more scarce token than the Zen. So it has the ability of appreciating in price quicker because there's less of it than the Zen, right? So those two things right there off the bat was like, okay, cool. Like this is innovating my staking experience. And then learning about the pool protection from the way that this works, it made me even more like, yeah, I fucks with Phoenix. I can see myself in Phoenix for a significant amount of time. This does look like a generational wealth vehicle where I'm not trying to jump in and out of this thing because it's going to wreck me if I'm trying to do that because that's not what it's designed for. And that's what's cool about, again, about Phoenix is that it literally has that design. So in Hex, what we relied on was the OA, and the OA gets a copy of every hex that goes into the pool to protect, you not to protect the OA, and then it also allows for you to get your hex out at the end because there's always going to be a copy of your principal in the OA, so you'll always be able to get your principal out. Blah blah blah. But to make it fair so that there isn't an OA, Phoenix is doing the same concept where they have the reward pool and the shares. So these two things they they sampled from Hex, I believe. They definitely sampled the shares from Hex, and that's what protects the equity pool. But what I'm going to get at is that when you burn your Zen for Phoenix, you're going to get a Phoenix credited copy that's going to go to a reward pool, and then you're going to also mint your Phoenix. So you're going to get your minted Phoenix, and then a copy of what you've burned is going to automatically be created and placed into this reward pool. And then every 13 weeks, this reward pool has a flush function where it's going to flush all of the extra rewards into the equity pool, and then that's what's going to boost your share or your Zen. I mean, your Phoenix. So basically, there's this thing going on every 13 weeks on the side, right? You get to stake your Phoenix normally, so that's some normal stuff. You go, you mint, you get shares. When you end your stake, your burn and your inflation goes into the equity pool. It issues you how much interest you've created, so your what hopefully is your principal and the extra coins that you've created from the inflation. And then that's what's going to come back to you, right? And this is like all happening in the background to give this pool protection, in my opinion. That's how I'm interpreting it. Because I was like, why am I losing Phoenix? Like, that's not the game. I shouldn't lose Phoenix. So it's not that I lost Phoenix, it's that I didn't stake long enough and I didn't participate long enough to be able to party with the rewards. So what I've learned is that the real win is the 13 weeks reward pool, as well as you probably are gonna, like wanna test it out for a while. We'll see where this goes. We'll see how many people do 100-day stakes. But again, like what I've understood here, if you're gonna do small termed stakes, you're going to need to have a bigger size, right? So you get a size bonus and a time bonus, and that's why both of those together is just like crushing it. But if you want to do one or the other, you need to have one or the other. You can't, right? You're gonna get diluted. You're gonna either get diluted on time if you don't have enough time with enough supply, or you're gonna get diluted on supply if you have enough supply but not enough time. So those two things you're gonna really need to play into an account when you're coming into your stake of Phoenix. And again, all of that shit is to protect the equity pool for Phoenix. And I think that is extremely intuitive. Like now it's real. Like once Phoenix is released, it's gonna live on its own. Anytime people burn Zen for Phoenix, it's gonna create an extra copy and it's gonna reward everyone that's in the pool in 13 weeks. And like it's gonna give you more shares, just like a CD, based on how long you stake out. Like it's perfect rhythm. Like this is actually perfect rhythm. Because if you're gonna build a ladder, it's like everyone's truthfully like ladders should start in like 2 years from now. So that's probably how I'm gonna cook my wave in Phoenix. Is I'm gonna build ladders, but I'm also gonna stay like keep my ear to the ratio because once the Zen is gone, it's gone, y'all. So do burn responsibly if you're gonna get into Phoenix. Don't go out there and just wail because there could be learning curves that everyone has to learn together. And the last thing you want to do is blow your load, and then now you have no Zen capital to continue burning for Phoenix if you're gonna really take this vehicle and go short. But if you're going long, Phoenix looks like it's ready for this. Like 1,000-day stake on Phoenix, I feel like will is really going to compete with 1,000-day stake in on Zen.network. And again, Zen.network staking does not have a penalty. So there's zero penalties on staking over here. Whereas when you do stake on Phoenix, if people can't keep up with their reward, or like if they can't keep up with their time and they end stake early, you do get extra payouts because of the just the regular early end stake penalties that people will suffer. So this is kind of like again like there's a lot going into this, but it's designed for stakers. Okay, it's really designed for individuals that want to stake their cryptocurrency for plus 2 years. If you have that vision and you want to have that type of vehicle, Phoenix is something you definitely want to look into. If you have a vision longer than 2 years, that's another reason why Phoenix exists for you in the Zen ecosystem. You cannot burn, or excuse me, you cannot stake Zen longer than 1,000 days. So if you do want to see yourself staking for 4,000, 2,000 plus days, again, this is your portal because now you can go ahead and what would be what a million Zen. I guess it's 100 Phoenix, right? Yeah, it's 100 Phoenix. So like it's like, oh, if you wanted to stake a million Zen, it would be 100 Phoenix, which then you could do for 2,000 days. And that's kind of what oops, that's why Phoenix really exists, like on a black and white theory. Phoenix exists for Zen stakers that want to stake longer than 1,000 days. And you can use this vehicle to minimize the amount of coins you need to provide that stake, which is also pretty insane, right? We took a million Zen and we turned it into 100 Phoenix. Like, what? Like this is why this is why Zen exists. For protocols like Phoenix, innovating the staking. I think DBZen innovated the minting. right? And you think of Zen minting, you burn. Oh, I'm coming up on my saucy G rank under 100K. Call me an OG. But when you mint Zen, you pay some ETH. The ETH goes to validators. It doesn't actually go back to Zenians. It goes to validators, and then you get some Zen after a certain amount of time. Well, in DBZen, oh, I don't think it's going to show up. Here we go here. So in DBZen, you provide native token. Oh yeah, they put DBZen on XN or X1 if you're trying to play around with it. But you provide native token, and then you get DXN, and then you're gonna get the native token back, and then you spin the Zen, right? Or you burn the Zen, so you get XN. So there's a lot of different things that I'm trying to get at here. But basically, I believe that DXN innovated the minting feature. So there might be better opportunity for some people who missed out on the early day minting of Zen to participate heavier in DB Zen to get the same effects that was happening with Zen in the beginning. And that's literally what's going on here. Like when you look at the way that people are selling, they're putting in the equity and then they're selling the tokens at the end of the cycle every single time. Like every single time. And then there's people at the bottom that are buying up those coins hitting the market. So anytime you look at these, like let's look at this person here. First, let's click here. Okay, they bought. Did they? Okay, they're a sandwich. We're not gonna look at them. Maybe they're real. But yeah. So there, see, there's a lot of fugazi shit going on. So you got to be careful on how you're watching this. All right, here's 11K. So this person, they've been buying up the whole time. Let's look at their wallet. They've been buying this shit up. Real person. All right, they flushed the wallet. Wallet's been flushed. We can see that here every 13 weeks. We're gonna flush the reports. Wallet's been flushed. Just kidding. This time it's humans doing it. And yeah, check it out. So this person had their coins staked and then they unstaked them. So for me as a staker, I love seeing this because this means that this human or this 256 DXN won't be in tomorrow's pool. Thank God. So as long as I'm in, I'm my line or my area in the line has been pushed forward. But looking at this person's activity, a lot of this is staking. So they're buying and they're staking, they're buying and they're staking, they're buying and they're staking, right? They've been doing this shit forever. And yeah, like look at they're transferring, they're putting everything in, they're putting everything together. So this is what I'm trying to get at. Everybody is making their moves, but majority of them are mining the DXN. They're putting they're putting in economical energy into DBZen, both native token and Zen, and then they're taking that DXN and they're selling it back on the market, providing this market share of price. At the same time, you have the RSI over here on the hourly, extremely beat up, ready to take off again. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we do find some sort of trade right now. Maybe we go back up to like the 60s, we roll back over, and we continue on the downside. But that's really just based on what's going to go on. There's a lot of things not set in stone. Jack Levin hasn't really put out there like what DXN does for XN yet. It's in the ether. Hey, you're going to be able to burn your DXN for XN, but it's not set in stone. There is no white paper, so there's no hype. There's just all speculation. And that's again why it's a good time for this price to go down. But I feel like he shouldn't steal any information right now, right? We got FENIX coming out May 13th on Ethereum. Um, if you've been following the game, then you know what time it is. Where did I draw the lines? Maybe it's on my main. Where are the lines? Where are the lines? So we're watching the play right now. Is it on this one? All right, cool. Yeah. So we got 2 dates we're watching right now inside of this fib on the Zen price, which is very simple stuff. The 29th, that's going to be FENIX launch on Polygon Matic. And then the 13th is going to be FENIX launch on Ethereum. So just kind of looking at the hourly here, why not stay right below this trend line? But the naturally, right? It's very natural trend here. Oh shit. From top to bottom. Actually, this could be scooted over a little bit. I think I did it based on this pump right here, because that's when it really sent off, and that's really the high right there. So we have a lot of room to go down, to have some downtime momentum. Now, will we see these lows? I have no clue, because again, you go back to the computer science part of things and try to look at how much Zen is just coming to the market. Let's go to Zen Turbo. Zen Turbo. What's up, man? That's complicated. Greater challenges often lead to greater rewards. I feel so silly minting Zen for only on only 8 chains. I should have been limiting myself and capital to 50 or less gains. Well, if you're minting on all chains, you're basically setting yourself up to be the whale. And that's why it's a longer game. If you're gonna be on all chains, you're really playing the 2-year game. Like that's how I feel. I'm like not even worried. I'm like, yeah, I'm 2 years ahead of everyone. So it might have these moments in the present where I feel like I need to get out, but actually that's just part of the present, right? And now looking at Zen here, again, a lot of the people are brand new, dude. So don't get it twisted. Look at this. Look at this future candle right here. So we do have looks like this has grown a lot. There's a lot of people that have put some claims right where the Phoenix launch is happening. So that's pretty wild to see. But yeah, we can see here that the future claims on Zen are pretty limited. Here, we'll go ahead and just really get this down to a perspective here, because so in the next 2 weeks, we're gonna not really have we're not gonna see too much Zen hitting the market, and most of this Zen I'm pretty sure is being created for Phoenix. Um, I wish I could see this better. Here, let's see the 7 day. So this is just minting distribution. Yeah, not too much, not too many people are got the mints coming out on the 31 to 30 days, very small amount. So I mean, like that's why I keep trying to tell myself, dude, maybe it dumps. But then I go and I look at the stats and it's just harder for me to believe it because I'm like, there's no Zen coming on the market and the burns are turning up, right? Like we're trying to get the burn down. Here, let's look at this over here too. This is ZenPub in case you never used it. It's pretty sick. Uh, do you know if DXN pumps anytime soon? I mean, that's just it though. Like, if you come into DXN with that kind of question, you're finna get wrecked. Is it gonna pump anytime soon? That's not the game. Actually, I wrote the game on my. Oh yeah, he wrote the game too. So Joseph wrote some game so that if you need to save yourself, go save yourself. Read this post by Joseph. He explains how someone sold a whole bunch of DXN for $112,000 just for them to recycle it back and buy everything in the Zen ecosystem. So they took profits at the top, I guess you could say, just so that they can recycle it back into the Zen ecosystem. Because again, this isn't a shit coin. This is a hyperstructure, right? We are in a hyperstructure. So there's no reason for you to exit the structure unless you truthfully need to get out. Instead, you could just move your funds around and find yourself in a better zone. So I said the same thing on my Twitter. Um, so on my Twitter, I told someone, follow me on Twitter. I said, Zenlon will save us. Don't forget about Zenlon. We haven't even talked about that shit. But yeah, somebody here was like, where are they at though? Where are they at though? Is it this one? Yeah, this person right here. So this person was like, I don't understand this game well enough, unfortunately. And then I explained it just like I'm explaining it to you guys in a high level explanation with a lot of different references to prove that I don't think I'm crazy. But it's like, it's an hourglass. The point is to stay in the middle of the price action and never, ever, ever wreck your position because it will always be harder, more expensive to buy back your position. The game is to hold strong and hold long while waiting for a better advantage days, right? Because this is a 62-year auction. So the person who sold the 100K today, they took advantage of the day. Now, if you had 100K sitting in DXN, you two were the two people that were supposed to take profits on top of each other, or one or the other. You know, you don't want to do it on top of each other because then you both lose, and that's why the whales have to make a game of their own where it's like, well, shit, do I want to get out or do I want to stay in? And again, that all that well showed to me was that people are recycling the gains into other parts and keeping the 100K in the eco. It's not like it's going to Coinbase, like a regular shit coin where you see the sell and then they go straight to Binance, sell straight to whatever, you know. In the Zen eco, it's like all that stuff is going back into minting more Zen, claiming more Zen. We got people over here dumping 3 billion. Let's go. Was that 3 billion? Damn, 3 billion's expensive. God damn. This is a dumper right here. Whew. They're trading. They're trading hard. They bought last night. Ouch. Actually, we got a jetter in the chat, guys. Look at this person. They bought last night and then they just dumped the bag for a loss. RIP. What? See, this is why I'm not worried, yo. Do not worry about price, yo. If you're looking for a pump, you need to work harder at crypto because we're chilling now. We're not even looking for pumps now. We're just like literally moving around, waiting for the next best opportunity. Um, yeah, again, people got to understand like DBZen has some really craziness going on. The other crazy thing that no one's talking about on DBZen is Zenlon. Um, damn, damn. Where is the chart? Oh, it's over here. So Zenlon is going to provide downside pressure to DBZen. As DBZen becomes cheaper, people will start to get back on XLON because XLON can only be created with burned DBZen. So you'll see there's only 4 people playing over here, which is great for them because they're like doing it while everybody else is like, I don't know, man. And like that's how you want it. You want to get in on things when there's no participants. Like, why do you want to be burning with everyone else? That doesn't make any sense. So we do have Zenlon that is on the back burner that's also seeing a nice dip, but still has 1.2 million in market cap. So curious to see what happens here. Over 29,000 DXN has been burned in Zenlon. So it just continues to go in. Zenlon's part of the hyperstructure. Again, if you're in the hyperstructure, there's no reason to get out. Um, if you read the Joe Blau FENIX white paper, they put the article to hyperstructure. So actually, for all of those that are watching, go read this. Paste. Oopsies. Go read this. And yeah, go read this. So this is what Zen is doing to create this idea that there's no reason for you to have to leave the hyperstructure unless you need to leave. What you're looking at right now is a photo of a hyperstructure from ground level view, right? So this is like this figure to the right is the Empire State Building at the same scale. So what they're trying to get at is that when you look at like a regular building, you got your foundation, you got your support beams, then you're gonna have your top area where things are just popping. But to get on the top, you know, that in my opinion is the developers in our hyperstructure building down because they want this part of the structure to always be in rotation. If they can create something that has a constant rotating community, then it will oscillate in a hyper fashion. And that's why I'm really into this shit, right? Hyperstructures are unstoppable. They're free. They're valuable. They're expensive. They're permissionless. They're positive sum. They're credibly neutral. There's just this idea that it can't be rugged. And again, people are proving that they're not taking the Zen for profit because there's better opportunity of gain. That's why I am buying back DXN because I believe in the hyperstructure. I don't want to get kicked out. Again, that's why I'm telling people what my game is. My game is to hodl strong and hodl long while waiting for better advantage days. Like whenever I get that day, dude, I'm gonna throw a red candle out there. And I'm gonna go on Twitter and be like, that's the crypto bro red candle. Because I worked hard for that red candle. And that's the thing I think that we never really get to experience in crypto. Everybody wants to rug you before you rug them. Where now we have a hyperstructure where where rugging is available. Because more than likely somebody is down below trying to climb up. All right. I love this graphic here. I can't zoom in on it. Oh, I can a little bit. So if you can see here, it's like it has like some cool concepts here. So we have like the city center, right, where all of the businesses are built there, but the people that work in those businesses, they're in the public, right? Like you're in the public eye, right? So eventually these businesses will become public, and they're going to try to climb up that that pole of privacy so that they can get into that neighborhood, maybe that gated community. Maybe there's a different amount of humans there that have the same how does the white paper say? Maybe they're a little bit like-minded and they all have the same vision. So now they're moving up into that neighborhood. Then maybe that neighborhood understands like, hey, we can innovate our community. So now some of those neighborhood individuals are moving into that community area. And again, we can only build community because we have great products. I think this housing area is the development, is the dev coming with the fair protocol to keep everyone inside the hyperstructure. Um, I I see it was in, right? Mint Zen, get free Zen, burn Zen, get free DXN or Phoenix. Use these two coins, put them in liquidity pools, get fees, use those fees. The coin goes up in price. It gets bananas, man. It goes on and on and on. But yeah, go check and read this thing about hyperstructures because this is what the Zen ecosystem is built on top of. But yeah, man, I gotta wrap up. We've been here chatting. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in. Closing in on our 30% burn, y'all. Hey, hell yeah, dude. We're gonna be burning everything. It's gonna be 50% before they know it. Then they're gonna be like, damn, I wish I was mining Zen when it was only 30% burn. Oh, any news on ordinals? Nah, nothing yet. They did start a Telegram though, so we're waiting for more information. And again, the longer this is different than Hex, y'all. Okay, the longer that Jack holds the information in, the better it is for us as Zinians because we get better opportunities. Because once he says something, the market's going to reflect his actions. So there's a lot of cool things for us if Jack shuts the fuck up. So I'm 100% for that. Shut the fuck up, Jack. Don't say anything. Let everybody run around with their heads cut off trying to figure out the game when all they really needed to figure out was how a hyperstructure works. It's on the internet for you. All right? It tells you exactly how it works. Then you don't have to play that game that everybody else is playing. You get to play the comfortable game. That's what I'm on. I'm on I'm on being relaxed, bruh. I'm on, can you talk about X1 chain and if those tokens we play with will be final? I'm not talking about X1 yet, but yo, go play on DevNet. It's development net. So those tokens aren't real. They're just for fun. It's so that you could test different things. And again, as developers grow in our ecosystem, they'll probably deploy on XN DevNet to gather information and attention from real Zenians that have Zen and that are ready to participate. So if you are trying to say to yourself, I really want to immerse myself in the Zen ecosystem, you need to go to the DevNet and mint some Zen and get yourself ready for these test environmental situations where you've got the Zen nobody else does, and then now you can do what I did, which is learn that if you do less than a 90-day stake in Phoenix, you're finna be wrecked. Um, to be I'm just saying 90 because a lot of people are saying that number. So I'm thinking that's the day that most big people are going to go in on. So I want to be maybe 100, right? That's why I keep saying I'm going maybe long 100-day, 200, 300, 400, 500-day Phoenix stakes because I don't want to be in the pack of all those other people. And that's how you do it, man. That's literally how you do it. So Don't worry so much about price. Go learn about the hyperstructure. But yo, I'm about to peace out. I'm gonna be live with Kindness tomorrow for our little weekly review of just touching base on how his community's feeling and how my community's feeling. So maybe we can do something for XN chain. But again, the messages are really vague, so there's not too much for us to say. But if everyone's so curious about it, maybe we can pull something out of our ass and like be like, this is gonna happen. But until then, man, make sure you stay up. This is for informational purposes only, educational vibes, and yeah, do not wreck yourself. Zen to the moon. Everything else is doomed.